Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification. What is going on? Bam Rodriguez is in a league of his own. The kid was out for blood on Saturday night. I mean, look, let's talk about Bam Rodriguez and his spectacular night against El Gallo Estrada. We know that Gallo Estrada was on a 2 year layoff, of course, right? All of this extra stuff, but he was still the champ, right? El Gallo Estrada was still one of them top dudes, man. And Bam Rodriguez made it look, I mean, for the most part, pretty easy, pretty simple. This is a guy in Bam Rodriguez who's an up and coming young dude who's been beating guys repeatedly that are on top level at his weight division, around his weight division, and at his weight division. This is a guy that is a technician inside of the ring. He's a dude that very humble, and is just very technical. He's not the usual jab and run type of guy. He's more of a stand in the pocket and make you miss type of guy. And when his offense is ridiculous, he's like a matrix on offense, and on defense his head movement is really good. Saturday night we've seen a better aspect of Bam Rodriguez, and I think that he's come out even better this time, right? We've seen in the past him getting hit to the body and it not being the best look for him. But on Saturday night, El Gallo Estrada was going to the body, trying to get to that body, and it just was not letting up. Bam Rodriguez just looked better. He looked stronger. He looked way better inside of the ring, right? Everything. He's the younger guy. And even then, he's got put down by El Gallo Estrada. But you will expect that because El Gallo Estrada is that explosive. He can bring something out like that. But he took down El Gallo Estrada for the first time of his life. He ain't never been knocked down in his life. And Saturday night was the first time. And then to end it with a liver shot, I mean, where you thought that Bam Rodriguez was the one that would be susceptible to the body, it was actually El Gallo Estrada with a beautiful liver shot that, I mean, I don't even know how he placed that. He dipped into that and got some leverage off the back foot to get to hit El Gallo Estrada with a mean body shot that El Gallo could not, he couldn't, he that was it. He put him out. And for a lot of people, oh, he was a dude that coming off a 2 year layoff. Yeah, he was a dude that was coming off a 2 year layoff, and the young man went in there and did what he was supposed to do with a dude that's coming off of a 2 year layoff. You don't want to fight, you don't want to be active. Well, I've been active, and we're gonna put you the fuck up out of the sport just like that. So congratulations to Bam Rodriguez, cause that type of fight. I mean, this is a guy who's a pound for pound. He's top five in my opinion now. And on my list, he is definitely top five. These older fighters are getting washed away. Inactivity is washing these guys away. And the youngster like Bam Rodriguez, whose skill set is just incredible. I mean, incredible. Now fans are saying that he should fight Nawa Inoue. I mean, that's a great fight. I think that he's a couple pounds under Nawa Inoue, and it's not a fight that's far fetched at all. They just gotta find somewhere. If Nawa Inoue wants to keep going up, or does he really want to go back down for Bam? And I think that's the only thing, right? Um, it looks like Nawa Inoue wants to keep going up in divisions. I think that his body, he's an older fighter as well. I don't think that he really wants to strain his body in any type of way anymore. He's already juiced it enough. Not that type of juice, but he's already squeezed it enough, man. And he's already on the older side. So Nabo, in a way, probably wants to go up in weight. But either way, that's a great fight for Bam Rodriguez. I mean, what would that matchup look like? Bam Rodriguez has all the shot in the world to beat a guy like Monster Inoue, and I think that that's like top elite level opponents right there because both fighters are very technical. Both fighters are very good fighters. The only thing that Nawa Inoue has over Bam Rodriguez is power, and that's something that Bam Rodriguez doesn't have a lot of. But he has very good placement of his punches that he could get power in. But Nawa Inoue definitely has way more power than Bam Rodriguez, and his skills are very good as well. So I wonder how a fight like with Bam Rodriguez and Nawa Inoue would match up, because Bam Rodriguez is a very technical, sound fighter. This is the type of fighter that you want to see: exciting head movement, um, fights on the inside, technical, moves laterally. I mean, this dude does it all. The only thing that he doesn't have that's really huge is the power. And that's, you could definitely tell. That's something that he does not have. But who knows? I think that would be a great fight for Bam Rodriguez. The kid, his ceiling is so high, it's not even funny. He's still very young. He's a champion. He's a champion, and he's gonna be a champion for a long, long time. And a pound for pound fighter for a long time, man. This is a kid that he's gonna be a pound for pound fighter for a very long time. His skill set is just, you don't see that in boxing. I can't name you a fighter except for Lomachenko that does what he does with his skill set. His skill set is just that type of skill set. He has that type of skill set. That type of skill set is, I mean, no fighter, in my opinion, I've seen with that type of skill set. It's incredible. He's Lomachenko. That's really all you got to see is watch Lomachenko and see how Lomachenko moves on his opponent. He's very good, calculated with angles. I mean, that's just the type of fighter that Bam Rodriguez is. He moves on angles, and he's very well calculated. And even though he doesn't have the most powers, with his calculations, he could come up with a liver shot like that and get you out of there. Even though you're not a big puncher, but the one good shot can get you out of there. It only takes 5 pounds of pressure to knock somebody out. You know what I'm saying? So that's just it. Anybody can have power if you know how to utilize it. Even if you don't have power, if you know how to utilize or be accurate or know the key points to where to hit somebody, you could be very dangerous to even a guy that doesn't even think you're a big puncher. You know, there's obviously guys that are just naturally strong. They're just naturally bigger, naturally strong, and that's just freakish. That's just how they were built. But there's guys that obviously Bam Rodgers don't have that power, so he's got to make up for it. And how do you make up for it? You become a student of the body. You become a student of the body. Learning the pressure points, learning points of where you could hit somebody and potentially knock them out, even without having that much power. Because, like I said, it only takes 5 pounds of pressure to get somebody up out of there. So you utilizing that and knowing how to use that and being effective inside of the ring. I mean, this kid is he's the future of boxing. I think that he's potentially gonna be the number one pound for pound fighter, if not already. You know, but hey, we'll see. We'll definitely see. And then on the other card, man, Teofimo Lopez, my man Teofimo Lopez, the showman, the showman of boxing, comes out. A beautiful entrance for Miami, Florida. Um, and he comes out, man, and he's got this guy named Claggett. Old Claggett didn't lose a round. You know, you can't be mad at the performance. He did not lose a round. Okay, the only thing you could be mad about is not making a statement. Now, Teofimo Lopez failed to make a statement on Saturday night. Yes, I said it. He failed to make a statement. You know, a lot of people, Mark Kriegel, the commentators, they were actually talking about his power. Did the power translate to 140 pounds? Now, with a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who's a boxer puncher, and it looked like he was having fun in the ring. He looked like he was having fun. He looked like he was in there having fun with Claggett, and Claggett was there to get knocked out. This is a guy who comes forward. He has the fucking crimson chin. I will give him that. His chin is up to par in the sport of boxing. I mean, this guy could probably get hit with the bat that night, and he was not going down. I mean, it was just an abundance of pressure coming at Teofimo Lopez. You know, but I mean, obviously, he didn't do much to win the fight. He didn't do anything to win the fight. He just kept coming forward and getting hit with everything. The kitchen sink was thrown at him, and he walked right through it. You know what I mean? This dude got hit with so many shots. It's not even funny. The output was just crazy from Teofimo Lopez. The endurance was there. I didn't feel like he really gassed out like that. Not to my I didn't really think he got stout, but it was the lack of explosiveness. It was the lack of going for the knockout. That's what I feel like really, really messed Teofimo Lopez up. It was he was just going through the motions that night. It wasn't like he really wanted to knock this dude out. And I know he's Canadian. And a lot of people say that, Canadians are very friendly and stuff like that. Maybe feel bad for the guy. But at the end of the day, you had to make a statement for the 140-pound division. Yes, he's the champion. Yes, he's the lineal champion. And 140 pounds, yes, he's all of that. And he's still a great fighter. It's not like you could take away. I'm just talking about the performance on Saturday night. It was just not up to par. It was like, okay, he beat him, he washed him, complete whitewash Claggett, but didn't get the knockout. And I think that that's what everybody was waiting for. Teofimo Lopez getting the knockout against Claggett, you know, to send a statement at 140 pounds, but it just did not come. It didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And then through the middle of the fight, he started getting tagged up, and his eyes started to swell and this and that. And it was just like, yo, what is going on? Even though he wasn't losing the fight, but he was still getting hit. So now it makes me think, if you fight a guy like Subra Matias, who's exactly like Claggett, are you gonna swell up like that? That's my whole thing, right? So like, if you're gonna fight a guy like Subra Matias and your power is not translating at 140 pounds, and you don't have the power to knock these dudes out, now you're being put in position where Claggett didn't even look like he got hit. And he was getting hit with big shit, right? You could hear the shit coming through the TV that he was getting hit with. Now, granted, not everything was coming through the pipeline because of the fact that his defense, his high guard, wasn't allowing that to come through. But there was times where he was getting fucking hit with some big shots. You can hear them through the screen. I don't know if you could, if you're like, okay, Tiff doesn't have power at 140 pounds, or this fucking dude Claggett just decided that he has a chin of a fucking warrior. That this dude fucking literally took his chin off and put a mechanical fucking chin on his chin that night. Who knows? And that was my biggest issue. It was like, yo, what the fuck? You can't even tell if dude got power, if dude don't, because this dude he hit him with shit that was thumping. He hit him with shit that was literally hitting this dude like he was about to go down, like quick. You know what I'm saying? Like off some shit, like you gonna be like, damn, But he didn't. He didn't, bruh. He didn't. He just didn't go down. I said, damn. Cuz is wild, man. He was getting hit with everything, and would not budge. Like, and that was my thing. So if he fights Subra Matias, if Teofimo Lopez fights Subra Matias, and we know Subra Matias is a very pressure fighter, type of fighter like that, right? Now Teofimo Lopez obviously could outbox Subra Matias, but he bruises very easily. You know what I'm saying? He bruises very, very easily. Now his eye was fucking almost closed shut. Them judges looked like he was about to go to sleep, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like he just woke up from a fucking night of drinking. You know what I mean? This dude's odds was all swollen up. So if you fight a guy like Subra Matias, who you know you can outbox, but it's your defense come all the way completely there. Because you kept getting hit by Claggett, and Claggett is not a big puncher. You know what I'm saying? He is not a big puncher. Subra Matias is not a huge puncher, but he's more of a volume type of puncher. Are you going to be able to keep a guy like Subra Matias at bay? You know, does your power translate to 140 pounds? And Teofimo Lopez, after the fight, you know what I'm saying, was saying that, obviously, I don't think I mean, you guys don't think I can handle myself at 147 pounds. It's because of performances like that, bruh. When the power's not translating, when you're hitting this dude with the fucking kitchen sink and the power is not getting him out of there or not even phasing him, right? It wasn't even like, oh, okay, he was getting hit with big shit and the dude stumbled or something. He didn't even do that. The one highlight of the fight, right, was when he hits him with a big uppercut and Claggett looks around like it was somebody else who came in and stole him and then got back to his pressure. You didn't knock him off his game plan. You did nothing to do anything to this dude. His game plan was just, I'm gonna keep coming forward, and you didn't fucking keep him at bay. You didn't even get him scared about the power. So that is a problem. And that right there is alarming, right? Because if the power's not there at 140 pounds, going up to 147 pounds would just be stupid. It would literally just be stupid. Is your power going to translate at 147? It would be stupid in my opinion. Chin of a warrior is crazy. What's going on, man? With leverage, the hits that look soft really be hard as fuck. Just cause how low or the leverage he or she has an opponent. Who has the best defense in boxing to you? In boxing right now, the best defense, man, I don't know, bruh. I don't really be looking for who has the best defense. I mean, Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion, has the best defense, right? Because the statistics say that Shakur Stevenson barely even gets hit in a fight. He barely even gets hit in a fight. Uh, the numbers are so low of opponents actually hitting Shakur Stevenson. I think the dude that gave Shakur Stevenson the most hits, that hit Shakur Stevenson the most, was Oscar Valdez, and that was hella fights in. You know what I mean? So Shakur Stevenson has the best defense in boxing, in my opinion. Yeah, I can't even think of anybody else, to be honest, because I don't really look for that. I'm more of a I like offense. I like the more offensive the more offensive side of boxing. But yeah, head movement is definitely needed, bruh. It's definitely needed. And I think the Shakur Stevenson's defense is just very good because he knows how to his jab is very good, right? And he has a very good mid range and he could get out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Where the defense that I'm looking for is more inside defense. So I'm looking for more head movement, head movement, head movement. And Shakur Stevenson, I mean, I'm sure Shakur Stevenson has head movement, but when can we really highlight Shakur Stevenson's head movement? You know what I'm saying? I think that it's more I could keep you at bay with my jab, and I could just win the fight like that. Whereas there are fighters that are very good on the inside who have very good head movement. And I think that shit is probably one of the sickest shit when you do that type of when you have that type of defense where you can move inside and the dude is just missing you. He can't even touch you. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy. It's 6'7", 142, the same as 5'7", 142. Yeah, I mean if you 6'7" and you weigh in at 140 pounds, and the dude's 5'7", yeah, the fight is on. The fight is on. You see it with the Towering Inferno. You know what I'm saying? The Towering Inferno. My man is like six something, and most of his opponents are like 5'10" to 6 feet, barely touching 6 feet. That would be a dumb move. Yeah, man. It's the Philly Shuffle. a good defense strategy. The Philly shell is a good defense strategy if you're Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Or but nowadays, I mean, who's really doing the Philly shell that's very effective with it? That you know what I'm saying? That could stand there and withstand that power, and then be able to counter you. Um, yeah, I'm guessing. I mean, there might be a couple fighters. You know what I'm saying? Manny or Oscar. Man, who the hell? Manny who? But but Teofimo Lopez, that it was alarming. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, he beat the dude, he washed the dude, whatever. That's a given though. You know what I'm saying? I think for fans, that was more of the problem. That was a given. You know, it was a given that he was gonna beat this dude. It was a given that he could wash this dude. You know, Claggett was ranked like number 8 in the WBO. So it was a given. It was a given. It was a given that Teofimo Lopez was gonna go inside of the ring and beat him. You know, the given wasn't it was the knockout. So you had to go in there and give the knockout. I'm sorry. The knockout was the punch that you needed to win. That was what you needed to show the fans, show the people that you are really this big puncher. Now, Teofimo Lopez, you know, that's just honestly, that's my problem. I think that the power was just not there, you know, and even it wasn't even there to like stop Claggett in his tracks, and that was alarming as well. If you're not stopping this guy in his tracks, you know, to at least keep him off of you, then I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? And Teofimo Lopez after the fight, you know, goes on to make like snow angels and starts doing backflips. I honestly don't know why he was doing that because dog, like this is a given. This wasn't like a huge fucking fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't like, oh man, Teofimo Lopez is fighting like the number 1 in the sport, and somebody like Lomachenko when he fought Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? This is not that type of party. You know what I mean? This is more of a party that we're here to get business done, and we're gonna go home, and then we're gonna start searching for the next opponent. But this was a tune-up, my brother. This was the type of fight where you go in there, you beat the shit out of this dude, get him the fuck up out of there, and then you start calling these motherfuckers out. That's that type of fight. Yeah, I don't want to hear no Terrence Crawford. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm going to go to 147 pounds. For what? For what? To embarrass yourself up there? Because if a guy like Claggett can last 12 rounds, you know, there's just no way, man. And the power's not there? Nah, man. The power's not going to translate to 140 pounds. He told the fans, he said, even though y'all don't think I can handle myself at 147, at 147, um, even though I don't think I can handle myself, y'all don't think I can handle myself at 147, 47. I want to fight for legacy and this and that. Yeah, that's very understandable. Very understandable. You know what I'm saying? Very understandable to want to go up to 147 pounds, and I think that that's not too far fetched. You know what I'm saying? It's not too far fetched. This is a guy who's growing. Body is growing. You know what I'm saying? His body is growing, you know, and he's getting bigger, you know, and he's not being able to cut down to those weight classes anymore, and that's already starting to be an effect is affecting him. You know what I'm saying? And inactivity is a killer as well. When you're not 100% active, it just kills you, man. Teofimo Lopez needs to work on a lot of things. um but you know, getting hounded for 12 rounds it just doesn't make sense for a guy like Teofimo Lopez and his skill set. Teofimo Lopez has beaten the top dudes, man, the top dudes, and he's done it very impressively. And he's handled himself superbly, right? Um, and maybe I'm crazy. Maybe he steps up for a guy like Terrence Crawford. Maybe he steps up for those types of guys. Maybe these types of fights just bore him. Maybe he gets bored in the ring. You know, who knows? But this has been an ongoing thing, right? Is that he shows out when he needs to show out, and when he doesn't, he just goes through the motions. Still wins the fights, but still goes through the motions, and that's just a killer for him. Um, I don't know what Teofimo Lopez needs to do now. I don't. There's no clear cut to a role for Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? I think that he understands that a lot of fans didn't like his performance, and even if he wants to do snow angels and do backflips after the fight, um, a lot of fans were disappointed in his performance, and rightfully so, because at the end of the day, this is the entertainment business, and fans wanted to see the KO. Fans wanted to see that because of the fact that Teofimo Lopez has been known to knock people out in stunning fashions, and that's the type of Teofimo Lopez that I'm trying to see inside of the ring. I honestly think that he's starting to hate the sport, and he don't love this sport no more. And I think that that's one of the key reasons to Teofimo Lopez and could potentially be his downfall in the future. Just not loving the sport as much as he did when he was knocking people out or when he was getting those titles against Lomachenko. I think that was the his ceiling was very high, but it's starting to diminish very fast. Teofimo Lopez is always in the gym. I can't say that he's an undisciplined fighter. A very disciplined fighter, but the only problem that I see with Teofimo Lopez is that he's just not he's not translating well at 140 pounds. And yes, he beat Josh Taylor, so I can't completely say that. But I think that if he goes up to 147 pounds, he's gonna have a lot of trouble, especially with um, bruising very easily. Bruising very easily. And if you don't have a power to keep somebody off of you, it's gonna be a problem for you at 147 pounds. That's my only thing. You got dudes that are cutting down from 160 to 180 pounds just to get to 147 pounds. Motherfuckers walking around 200 pounds on the daily at 147, cutting down to 147. Look at Boots and his bread. There's no way that this dude does not weigh 200 pounds every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? This dude is diminishing and depleting his body to get to 147 pounds, unfortunately for him, right? He is diminishing and depleting his body just to fight at 147 pounds, just so people could say that he's being ducked by Terrence Crawford. That's his best attribute right now inside of the sport of boxing, is that he's being ducked by Terrence Bud Crawford. I feel bad, and I feel bad for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Because inactivity, dog, inactivity, not fighting top level competition. Looks like he could be one of those guys, but just so inactive where it's not even worth fighting watching, right? So inactive and not even fighting high level competition, so it's like okay, you know what I mean? It's like Terrence Crawford, to be honest, right? Just not fighting the type of level of competition that anybody really wants to watch, and that's a problem. But Teofimo Lopez at 147 pounds, I think that he beats guys like Mario Barrios. You know what I mean? Those types of guys. And maybe he could make a career at 147 pounds. Maybe I'm just not too impressed with the Saturday night performance. Maybe I'm just not too high on that. Maybe I just saw a lot of things where I said, his power's not translating. His power's not translating. And I think that that's possibly what I've really seen. I think his power was just not translating. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you got a guy that's coming at you, coming at you, coming at you, and has all that type of pressure, and you just cannot keep him at bay, that is alarming. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you want to be notified. And we out, man. Peace.